I'm starting to get the honest feeling, as a researcher, that close to everything is actually rigged. Now that Wikileaks has released more emails this morning, including some emails between John Podesta and Eric Schmidt, the chairman of Google Incorporated. These communications between Schmidt and between Podesta are highly troubling, and they're troubling especially in light of the YouTube censorship that we have seen recently. YouTube is owned by Google. It's not immediately clear why the ad monetization settings for all of my past videos were deleted and removed shortly after I put up a video about the Clinton Foundation hack. Not immediately clear why that was done, and when they turned my ad revenue back on, no explanation was given as to why I was penalized and punished in the first place. And it's not just happening to me, it's happening to other YouTubers who are putting up critical commentary and analysis of the failing Clinton campaign. And let's just read this email between Google chairman Eric Schmidt and John Podesta, the former White House Clinton chief of staff and a close advisor to Hillary Clinton. Let's go ahead and read that right now. So Schmidt writes to John Podesta, "Thank you. I'll plan to see Robbie when he is back in D.C. Robbie, I believe, meaning Robbie Mook, who is Hillary Clinton's current campaign manager." And he also says in the email, "Cheryl would be great to see," as in Cheryl Mills, a close Hillary Clinton staffer. "I have a meeting with the president from 11 to 11:45, etc." So this shows not only that he's closely connected to the Clintons, but that he is meeting with President Obama. Now, it's very obvious to people who don't even have a background in computer science or computer code, it's very obvious to people that something is happening with YouTube. I saw a video that had only received 1,600 views over the last 2 weeks, and it was a positive Hillary Clinton video with a storm of downvotes. And, for comparison's sake, I get 1,600 or 2,000 views about 20 minutes after I upload a new video. This one had only garnered 1,600 views in 2 weeks, and yet YouTube was promoting it as trending. And, when you go on Google News, their algorithm is not surfacing any stories about this Wikileaks hack, and I doubt they'll surface any stories about the close Eric Schmidt connection. But this is starting to feel like everything is rigged. If Google is fucking with their algorithm here on YouTube, and if the corporate media is gaslighting the American people, which they are, in fact, doing. I've been in media for more than a decade in a variety of capacities, and I've been a guest on many of these television and radio networks. And they are propagandizing you. This is like the Twilight Zone. To go on the homepage of Yahoo and to see that every other article practically is about Donald Trump or one of Donald Trump's family members, and it's a character attack where you click on it and there's like nothing there. It's like, oh, okay, his casino lost some money 30 years ago. Let's talk about the people who Hillary Clinton had killed in Libya for unclear reasons. Let's talk about all of the Clinton Foundation kickbacks. Let's talk about how Hillary Clinton's State Department authorized a massive weapons deal for the dictatorship Bahrain, a violent and despicable Middle Eastern dictatorship that put down pro-democracy protesters, including female pro-democracy protesters. Hillary Clinton gave them a massive weapons deal in her capacity as Secretary of State, and she did this after a 7-figure donation to the Clinton Foundation. The level of corruption and criminality here is only surpassed by the level of corruption within some of our top national law enforcement agencies. Many people in Congress are growing angry that the FBI handed out immunity deals for this email scandal. There is clear wrongdoing here at almost every level of government. And now we're seeing again that it's not just the government, it's media elites and it's tech elites like Eric Schmidt, one of the most powerful people in the world, who are totally in the bag for Hillary Clinton, this old, sick, warmonger who doesn't give a shit about me or you. This is a total gaslighting operation. Look up gaslighting on Wikipedia. Tell your friends about it. It's so obvious. I'm not a brilliant guy. I'm just somebody who's been in the media for a while, and I'm somebody with really good personal connections. and I'm somebody who's become a good researcher. You know, a lot of the information is out there. It's that nobody has the time to look through it. Well, I do. This is what I do for a living. It feels like everything is rigged. They are pulling every slimy trick to get this woman in office, and it makes me wonder why. If she owes that many political favors, if they are willing to decimate 50 years of trust in the corporate media to gaslight all of us 24/7 and to make us all feel like Trump is some kind of psychotic villain, they even twisted his victory. He clearly won that last debate. He slammed her, and yet now I'm seeing more and more articles and commentary discussing Trump's meltdown during the debate. What fucking meltdown? Is it a meltdown to call somebody out on their past criminality and corruption? Is it a meltdown to call somebody out on their pathetic record while they were Secretary of State? These things are not a meltdown. This is what you're supposed to be doing at a debate. The level of propaganda, the level of censorship, me losing my column at Huffington Post, and Huffington Post since then publishing a number of articles and op-ed pieces that are frankly disgusting in their lack of professionalism toward Trump supporters and toward Trump himself. Frankly disgusting, and I think Americans are waking up. Again, I'm not a brilliant guy, and if I can see that the media is lying to us and that there is an agenda here, there is an elite agenda. Again, when I'm seeing videos as trending that in 2 weeks get less views than I get in 20 minutes, something is up, folks. Thank you for watching.
Well, Clinton campaign spokesman Brian Fallon is caught clearly colluding with the U.S. Justice Department during their investigation of Hillary Clinton's private email server. Fallon wrote in an email to several Clinton staffers, including Podesta, quote, DOJ folks informed me there is a status hearing in this case this morning, so we could have a window into the judge's thinking about this proposed production schedule as quickly as possible. Wow, pretty unbelievable. Now, the White House, of course, is denying any wrongdoing, but that's not all. Now, as it turns out, the Clinton campaign wasn't just colluding with the Justice Department. They were also coordinating openly with members of the mainstream media. For example, according to one of the leaked emails, CNBC's John Harwood, well, he gave advice to the Clinton campaign, and he said, I imagine that Obama feels some sad vindication at this demonstration of his year-long point about the opposition party veering off the rails. In another leaked email chain, top Clinton officials are clearly being pressured by the chairman of Univision to hit Donald Trump harder over immigration. And that's not all. The leaked emails also allegedly show the Clinton campaign also had a very cozy relationship with the New York Times, and particularly with its reporter, Mark Leibovich, who allowed the campaign to edit out certain Clinton quotes from a 2015 interview. Isn't that nice? Clinton communications director Jennifer Palmieri even told him, quote, pleasure doing business with you. Of course, this is only the tip of the iceberg, with other leaked emails showing a staffer calling Chelsea Clinton, quote, a spoiled brat, John Podesta's obsession with aliens, and sometimes Clinton was told when to smile during her speeches. That would be like me reading this to you and saying, hi, how are you? I'll smile now. It was written into the script, and much, much more. We continue with former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor, author of the brand new book, Treason. Newt Gingrich is with us. It is spectacularly corrupt. And here's my worry. So they didn't vet Hillary. You know, I had an interview today. Kathy Shelton. Kathy Shelton was raped when she was 12 years old. The attorney for the guy accused of rape was Hillary Clinton. The story she tells about how Hillary Clinton blamed the accuser. Sometimes young girls like this have fantasies about being with older men. The evidence in the lab proved the blood was the young girl's, was Kathy Shelton's. The semen was the man accused. They gave the evidence for independent investigation, and it comes back all the evidence was gone. And then Hillary Clinton brags about on tape, oh, I even gave him a lie detector test. He passed, of course, which forever, got rid of any belief I had in lie detector tests, bragging she got off somebody she knew was guilty. Now, they talk about Donald Trump's words, locker room talk, as if it's the worst thing in the world. She got a rapist off, a person she knew was guilty of rape, laughs and brags about it, and we have the tape. And most people in America have never seen that.
Well, look, I mean, this is, again, one of the challenges of having And what you have is a establishment news media which will do almost nothing to hurt Hillary Clinton while doing everything to hurt Donald Trump. In this case, by the way, 2 years after that trial, a law was passed. It's called a rape shield.
Yeah.
These are the kind of reasons it was done. Here's a 12-year-old girl who's already been humiliated and put through the terrible damage of being raped, and now she is further humiliated by the female attorney,
Hillary,
whose job is to destroy her at 12 years of age.
And she did, and it ruined this woman's life. You know, one of the most, I think, egregious things I saw in WikiLeaks, nobody's reported. There's actually an email that between Podesta and Jennifer Palmieri, it says, I know she has begun to hate everyday Americans, but I think we should use it once for the first time. She says, I'm running for president because you and everyday Americans need a champion, Podesta replied. And then Palmieri said, truth. They're saying she has contempt. And then there was another point where they said, you know, their email outlines an effort to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry. They have contempt for the American people, and they admit it.
It's going to be very hard in the next 2 or 3 days to go through all this material. See, I think part of what it begins to reveal is how genuinely radical the Clinton team is. There's an email where they're mocking Rupert Murdoch for having become Catholic, and where they're describing the Catholic Church as this weird, reactionary, old-fashioned. I mean, you have to realize these people are genuine radicals who have total contempt for Christianity and total contempt for organized religion.
It is beyond anything that I know. I look at the polls, and right now Hillary's ahead. If the election were held today, according to the polls, she would win.
Yeah, but look, this is the reverse of the Trump effect in the primaries. I mean, one of Trump's great strength, overcoming all of Jeb Bush's ads and all of Cruz's efforts, was that he could dominate earned media. Well, you had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning hundreds of replays of this one tape. And the poll that came out this morning by the
media research said more coverage of that tape in 48 hours than 17 years of the Juanita Broderick story.
Right. So think about it this way.
I love when you start laughing. Go ahead.
No, because there's both a tragedy for America as a country and an enormous irony at how stupid they think we are. And frankly, some of my fellow Republicans turn out to be that stupid. Okay, you get 48 hours of nonstop, constant repetition. Then you get a poll that's taken before the debate. Then the poll comes out this morning after the debate. So if you're a normal Republican, you wake up and you go, oh, my God, look how much trouble Trump is in. Well, by Sunday morning, he had been battered with so many,
so here's my last question. Okay. And then you're going to come back later in the show with your wife, Callista. Okay. Is he going to win this election in the next 28 days? And more importantly, what are we to think of a Republican Party that was so compliant to Obama's agenda, so quick to hate Trump, and never even looked at what the impact of a Hillary presidency would be on this country? And I'm starting with Paul Ryan, because he's the worst. No, I don't think he's going to be Speaker.
He will
not last as Speaker.
We'll see.
Prediction.
We'll see. Look, those are two very different questions.
He's no Newt Gingrich.
Yes. He probably thinks that's a compliment. Look.
That's a problem. That's a problem if he thinks that.
If Trump will focus all of his social media effort on driving home who Hillary Clinton really is, taking things like the open borders, 600 million people, if he drives those things home, he's going to win the election. But it will be Trump and social media defeating
the mainstream
media. Because head-up war. Second, I think that the only question that we ask of every Republican is not, are you going to support Donald Trump? Are you going to help beat Hillary Clinton? Because Hillary Clinton will be the most corrupt, most dishonest person ever elected. Any Republican who's willing to help her should join the Democratic Party.
Agreed. Well said. All right. We'll have more with Newt Gingrich in just a few minutes. Coming up, with exactly 4 weeks to go in this race for the White House, while Donald Trump's running mate, Indiana Governor Mike Pence will join us, and then later tonight.